We're going to caulk around the sink next. I particularly like this product. It's DAP Microban, and they come in high gloss biscuit. They come in bright white and a variety of colors. I find these to be the best for caulking sinks. The other thing we're going to do is cut our opening on it, and we don't want real big ones, so we cut an angle, a 45-degree angle, so that when we put the caulk on, it flows on nicely. The other thing we do is square off the top and make like a shoe out of it, because when we go around and caulk, it'll actually help put itself in. I'll show you that here in a second. I'll just caulk this one area so you can see what I'm talking about. But our area is clean and dry, and then what we're going to do is put that shoe down against there and start bringing the caulk out. You see how nice and even that's doing it? Don't go too fast, because if you go too fast, you'll end up getting big lumps. You see how I'm getting big lumps? Look at that. I'm doing this on purpose. Okay? And then in a second here, I'll show you how we go ahead and fix something like that. But we just keep going around, and when we go around, make sure of all things that you do behind the faucet, because that's where a lot of water gets. Now I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to change direction because it's easier for me to do that. I'm going to come this way and work my direction this way. And again, you see how our shoe is working and making that a nice even band going around there. Not moving too fast, moving nice and slow, so that we come around and we're going to, whoops, see, now we had a little gap there, so we had to just go back a little bit. But we just keep coming around and coming around until we meet our other area. Okay, now all this little extra stuff we can clean up in a little bit. Now I'm going to start back here. I'm going to have to just kind of put a lump back here because it's hard to get back there. See that? But I'll work that in a minute. But now I can start to get my shoe back down again and run a nice even bead as we go around. Okay, again, slowly, patiently. Whoops, fill back in again a little bit. There we are. Now I'm going to have to get on the other side over here and do the caulking down around the other side here. Again, I'll have a big lump back there, because it's hard for me to get in there. So I'm just going to put excess back there until I can get the tube down and back in the position that we want it to be in. And we get that nice even look back here. See that? And we're coming around to where our edge is here. Okay. Now that's all for the caulking tube. And the other thing I like about the DAP folks is they've given us a little cap to put on there. So if we go to use that again, you won't have to get a whole bunch of dry out of the thing. Alright, now we use a wet finger and a wet rag to finish up our job and make it look a lot more professional. I like to just get a little water on my finger, and we have to work on that back area. So you're going to see a lot of sloppy looking stuff here. And what I do is that excess, I just let it start going down the drain. Now I'm going to use the other hand and start bringing that over here. See, we've got all this extra junk here, okay? And we'll just keep getting that out of the way there. And then we'll take a corner of a wet rag and just kind of lay that back there and firmly bring it kind of straight out, okay, to where we can reach. Now we'll do that same on the other side. We put the rag down, get it, get all that excess junk out of the way, okay. Now since we're on this side, again the wet finger, and we just put the finger down with pressure and bring it around on the caulk. Now what this is doing is forcing that caulk underneath the lip of the sink. Okay, now you'll notice here I have excess on my finger. We'll get that off, and then just come back with the finger again and just kind of clean up a little bit around that edge. And then here we'll take the rag and drag up the excess. Now if you go over on this side and take a look, you'll see that it's a nice thin line of caulk that goes around there versus what we put on. You see what we put on? Well, just stay right here and watch a second. Finger wet. You see all the excess there? Now watch. The excess disappears. But it's being forced underneath. Now we have a few little rust spots. You see that right here? And we're going to end up putting a little extra in there, and we'll doctor that in so that we cover that little bit of rust, because this also is a metal sink and it's just a little bit of rust right there. We'll have to come back on that later. Alright, now I'm going to go back up on this side over here with the finger again. Start coming around, similar to what we did on the other side. Now I got more on this side than I did on the other, as you can see. And again, I'll bring the finger around, forcing that underneath, and coming back around all the way to where I'd stop from the other side. So again, the wet rag, and you just kind of clean up lightly. Again, you see I'm not trying to hurry this, because you make a kind of a mess if you try to hurry too much. And we're cleaning it off the edge of the sink and making it go underneath, which is what we want. Now when you use the sink, you won't have a lot of problems with it.